We want to get you guys interactive with us. Come on, tell us where you're from, where you're tuning in from. Really cool for us to see. And if you got any questions, we got Matt Reed, Dennis Tieje here. And hey guys, we apologize on the last segment. We had a little bit of audio issues. We saved the best for you guys, though, man. We got it worked out.
That's
Matt,
good.
Dennis, welcome. How you guys doing today?
I'm good.
Good to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Two guys been on tour a long time. Matt, both of you guys fishing FLW tour now.
Right.
How's the season going, and where are we headed next? What are we looking for?
Season's going okay right now. I'd be in the Cup if we were, if it was the end, which it isn't. We've got 3 events behind us. Next event's Lake Cumberland. Kind of looking forward to that one. Finished 4th there last year, so got a good vibe for that place. Only seen it one time, so hopefully it's good to me again.
You know, it's pretty cool. You talk about having a good vibe about that place. We see that over and over. I talked to Rick Lunn about that yesterday, about how Rick was winning those classics in the 80s and 90s. And I guarantee you, when people showed up and Rick was there, it's like, and you just get that feeling about what's going on. I'm going to cut my volume down here a little bit. But, like, the big thing with that, there's something to that. You know, a lot of guys struggle with Florida. For some reason, it's one of my favorite places. I was talking to Akinelli about that the other day. But it just happens. And when you go somewhere and you've got confidence in it, it makes it a lot of fun. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, it just the Florida thing. The only place in Florida that I can get a check is Harris Chain, and for some reason that one's good to me. Okeechobee, I try to be mentally positive, but I positively am terrible there.
Positively and terrible. Is that one in Wikipedia? I don't know if we got that. Dennis, same thing to you, brother. Tell me about what you got coming up.
You know, I mean, I started off to a slow start, but it's not that the practices wasn't good, and that's something we face at every event. You know, I mean, you can go have the best practice in the world, but if you can't put them in the boat on tournament day, it can be a struggle. But I'm a muddy water guy, and we've been on some pretty clear water, but I'm adapting to it.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. I live all year for an offshore structure bite. Talking about muddy water, you really have a lifestyle and a career somewhat in a lot of the business that you've had dealings with in the Bass's primary diet, which is the crayfish. Where you live, talk about that a little bit, and the farming that goes on with what you guys do.
Well, I mean, actually before I started fishing on the Pro Tour, that's what I did. I farmed for a living. 30 years of raising rice and crawfish. And it's pretty unique to South Louisiana. So, what I've done, and it's pretty interesting because you get to see how the crawfish colors change. And it just being around that aspect of it's so unique. You get a lot of questions from people across the country of what colors the crawfish are, when do they change, or when do you stop fishing crawfish baits and when do you go to shad?
Right.
And it's all seasonal, and it's better, being where I come from in that industry, I've been able to really see those seasonal patterns.
Yeah. You know what's pretty cool about that, from the aspect of what to fish and where they're located, is how the crayfish, they'll stay shallow no matter how cold it gets. I mean, you'll have them deep, you'll have them shallow. You'll go to a lake like Table Rock, one of the lakes that we have all fished a lot. We go there a lot with Bass Pro Shops, and the tourists go there a lot. And you can see bottom for 15, 20 foot on the lower end. You don't see a brim, you don't see a shad, a bait fish, and you're up there throwing those crankbaits and catching big fish. And they know those crayfish are there. It's a really cool deal.
In that clearer water, you get the extreme colors. We have a pretty small window of colors in muddy water, but when you get into the cold, clear water, your colors are extreme, and your blues and your greens, and it's important for the fishermen to really know what crawfish you have in your lake.
Right.
Because crawfish in South Louisiana aren't crawfish up on Table Rock.
Hey, and ain't that cool how we see the crankbaits that are colored up with the crayfish pattern? I know I seen one that the other day on a Wigglesworth that was that blue, and you're like, hey, there's a crayfish that has that almost teal.
They actually said, hey, this is Timmy's favorite bait, and me and Matt each grabbed one.
Yeah, right.
I love it, man. But that was cool, and you see those turquoise crayfish.
Yeah, I mean, where I spend a ton of time down at Falcon, there's a subspecies of their own down there, and they're big as lobsters. Seems
Wow.
like they're really big. So, a lot of protein for those old fish to eat.
Right, that's cool. Hey guys, you got questions? Send them in. We'll try to look at them here as they're coming through from Matt and Dennis. Some real cool stuff, guys. You guys communicate a lot on tour. A lot of the fans that follow us in pro fishing probably don't realize that there's a big camaraderie that goes on where you guys are fishing in the same tournament. I guarantee you guys were just at Harris Chain, some different places. Did you guys communicate down there and what you had going on, and how much of that do you actually do in practice?
A little bit, Tim. It's really good if you got a couple of friends that you can talk to that you trust 100%.
No doubt.
That's the deal. And don't tell me where they are. Tell me what's going on.
Right.
If you can give each other a clue about what the fish are doing, hey, we can figure that out from there usually. It's saves you so much time if you have a little group that can give you a clue on what you need to be looking for.
I had some problems on tour, and I lost a practice day, and so you're down. I mean, you're down a lot, and I asked Matt, and Matt kind of clued me on. He didn't tell me areas or spots, but if you have somebody you can trust, and we do, you either tell, if you can. Know somebody and that what they're telling you is fact and they're not leading you astray, that works.
Yeah,
but on the other hand, you can be led astray.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, no doubt. And you learn that over time with guys. And one guy will say, "Man, I'm really catching him punching," and he ain't even punching when the tournament starts.
Right.
So you learn that and eliminate. But for the most part, it's such a cool fraternity out here. I mean, It really is. You see these guys. I saw Brent Chapman a while ago. I hadn't seen him, since the season. Everybody just picks up. Same way with you guys. I know, Matt, I hadn't seen you since the end of the season last year. And it's just a cool part of it.
Switching from the B.A.S.S. elites to FLW, that was the hardest thing of my move is my buddies.
Yeah.
It's your road family. And sure, I know people over there, but I fished the elites for 14, 15 years, so that was your compact group that you always associated with. Man, we're on the road, we just pick our phones up. You're going to be driving for 15 hours. You just start going down the list, and then when you get to the bottom, you start over again.
What you find is when you're not competing against the guys, and then you realize you're really good friends with them.
Yeah.
Okay? Even though when we were competing, well, you might not be as good of friends, but now that you're not competing, you're really good friends with your old buddies.
I'm going to tell you this story. It's so funny. It's exactly what you said, Dennis. I was the very first Bassmaster tournament I fished. I'm in this back of this pocket, kind of intimidated by all the big name pros, and KVD's on one side and Denny Brower's on the other. And man, they get to going at it. I'm talking like going at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm thinking, and they're being competitive on their body of water. I go to eat dinner that night, and there their families are, and they're all together cutting up laughing.
Oh yeah.
So it's pretty cool. But ain't that the cool part of it? How competitive it can be on the water. But I'm gonna tell you what, these guys will take up for each other, and they know, hey, that's what that is. But over here, the reality of the friendship and the fraternity is a really cool deal.
When you're away from home so much, you better have a good family, and the fishermen are a big, great family.
Yeah, we had dinner last night with Shaw Grigsby and Polly, and it's just so cool to be out there and to catch up and laugh. And it's the family on the road. It's a big part of it. You guys are a big part of it, man. Just big part of Bass Pro. But tell me, I'm going to ask both of you this question. All right, both of you have been with this company for a long time, as I have, and it just this is family right here. I mean, it really is. And all of the people we know, Dennis and Rick and Robert and everybody, Ted, everybody we work with year round. What's your favorite part of working with this company, Matt?
The favorite part is the people and the product. I've seen the product advance so far since 2001, Timmy.
2021.
Yeah, I mean, we have come miles, and it's really great to have a company that continues to strive to improve things and make it better for us, make it all the way from the heritage end where you get the price back to where grassroots fishermen can get back in a boat, get out there, all the way up to you know, the Z21 Elite, to where it's one of the top boats in the industry.
And that's big kudos to Maurice and Johnny. This Heritage Edition boat was such an awesome thank you. Is basically what this was, and the fans embraced it and they loved it. It was just a great experience. Dennis, same question to you, buddy.
You know, Timmy, I've been with Bass Pro Shop now 22 years. Okay, I've only been on the pro side of it for about 8 years. But for 22 years, I started from ground roots, okay, state team and advanced, and I got to see the progression of the boats that are incredible. I mean, now you want to show them off. And for the last 8 years, and you know, if we had an idea or if we had a problem, what I loved, you could pick the phone up and call them, and they would note that. And next year, that problem or idea,
no doubt,
would be in that boat. And that's how the boats have come to be the best, is they've taken ideas from every one of us.
Right. It is, and you know, it's real cool to watch that maturation happen, and how we get together and we have these meetings with the design teams, with the boats, and say, hey, we would like this here. And look at what happened with the Dash on the Z21. I mean, now those big units, which is a huge investment for us, and such a big part of what we're doing, is secure sound right there, and it's just a huge point of purchase for the fans and the customers that are purchasing it. Hey, want to say hello to a few folks real quick watching in. Lisa says, hey, from Memphis, Tennessee. Hello from New Jersey, hashtag MLF Heartbeat. Real cool, Tom. Hey, from Kentucky, Cliff Wilson, thank you for watching. Randall Smith said he's headed here from Georgia. That's the cool thing. You guys have heard it too. People here from Canada, all over coming. And somebody says, don't forget to thank TJ. She's awesome. And what they're talking about, all right, let me tell you,
there
TJ
she
Laird,
is.
I'm going to embarrass her. All right, she's the lady that keeps all of us in control. Let me just tell you, a typical weekend for the Spring Classic, she's probably dealing with 100 pros, flying, hotels, and somehow manages to keep it all straight. And she was in the video. Did you guys see the video with Bill Dance and Jimmy Houston?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna look at that here today and have fun with those guys. They're gonna be up next here in just a little bit. We got a few other ones here. Hello from folks in Memphis, New Jersey, Kentucky. We just said that. Let's see what else we got coming. All right, here we go. I got a question for you guys from Cindy. This is a good one, and I'm gonna, Dennis, I'm probably gonna let you start with this one. We know the answer to this, but are you allowed to use live bait? Why and why not in tournament? A lot of folks may know that. That's a good question. Go ahead, Dennis.
Well, we're not in competition, okay? In competition, we're not allowed to use any live bait. We're a one hook, one cast deal. So,
right.
You know, at times we would love to be able to use live bait, okay? When we're at home in ponds, we can play with the live bait.
Kids out fun fishing. It's awesome.
And you know, and saying that, you know, we've been able to see in private situations what live bait does and how we can kind of mimic our baits to do that. And we've been forced to mimic our baits to look like the crawfish, just like your favorite crankbait.
Yeah, no doubt. Matt, you got anything on that?
You know, live bait, I'll tell you one thing about my experience with live bait in that lovely Florida
Okeechobee shiner fishermen.
Man, those Okeechobee shiner fishermen will be killing them. When they're doing that around you, you need to sit down and start your motor and leave, because those bass around there are trained to eat those big shiners.
It's funny, you know. And here's what'll really get you when you're down at Okeechobee. You go through an area and you ain't had a bite. And those kids are over there screaming, reeling them in on them balloons with them big shiners.
It'll make you crazy.
You get to scratching your head and you think, I think I'm a pro fisherman. You know, you get to wonder. But it's pretty cool. But that's a great question. A lot of people don't realize that. We can't use live bait. I got another question here. I'm going to let both of you answer. What is your best lure? This is Sean Pringle. What is your best lure for cold water situations?
In cold water situations, wow, that just depends. But I'm going to go with two directions. A jig would probably be my number one cold water lure, because I can, you know, fish it at whatever depth, whatever level. If they're on rock bluffs or whatever, you can step it down it and fish real slow. Also, you know, if you got a rock lake, that square boss crankbait is a awesome bait to throw. You know, it really, outshines the old wiggle warts nowadays. And in a cold water situation, that is a perfect way to get those bites.
Yeah, it is. Dennis,
You know, I'm going to go a different route on that because, you know, in the cold water, you're basically looking for that big reaction bite.
Right.
So, you know, I love a red-eye shad. You know, I love a rattle bait, jerking it, you know, just ripping it out of the grass, getting that reaction bite. And then if I have to go to plastics, I'm going to go with a rage bug, you know, because, you know, the crawfish come out when it's cold, believe it or not. They leave when it's hot. Okay, that's when the shads start taking effect. So when it's cold, I'm going to have a crawfish bait on there.
Yeah, good answer. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got Jimmy Houston, Roland Martin, Bill Dance coming up next. Come by the Bass Pro Shops booth if you're here inside and watching on Facebook Live. If you don't have a chance to make it to the Classic, stick right here all day with us. We're going to have fun. Really going to have some laughs in the next segment. I love the education I got from you guys today. just cool to get your perspective and share that with our fans.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Right,
Enjoyed
thank y'all
it
for having us on. You guys stay tuned. We'll be back in just a little bit. Awesome, guys. Thank you, man.